Hello everybody, welcome back to Crowdfunding Countdown. We're going to take a look at every single board game campaign finishing up in the next week. And I think this is going to be the second last Crowdfunding Countdown of the year. It seems like this will take us up until December 9th, and then it feels like we'll be able to go from December 10th onward down to the end of the month. I don't know. And then when that's done, we'll be doing some Crowdfunding Countdown retrospective where we take a look in the past, go through, see what the pick of the weeks were in the past, see how they're doing now. Always kind of a fun retrospective to look back and just see how right I am and how good I am at figuring out games just by the rule books. But before we do that, I've got a new patron to thank, Filippo. Thank you so much for jumping on board, supporting the channel. And if you want to jump on board and support the channel, sign up for Patreon, well then you'll get entered into this Wheel of Names. Every week up until the new year, I'm going to be doing a giveaway for a $25 gift card to Into the AM. Into the AM, they are the clothing company that there I'm on the screen. This is theirs. I freaking love their Henleys. I buy their clothes, and they send me clothes sometimes, and I also buy them, and you know how friggin' cheap I am? Anyway, so they sent me a bunch of $25 gift codes as part of their referral program, because they're like, oh, you did X amount of referrals, and I was like, okay, sweet. I'm going to take all these and use them myself. And then the good angel on the shoulder said, no, give them to all your patrons. So that's what I'm doing. We're doing a giveaway every week, and we're going to spin the Wheel of Names right now. And I'm excited. Oh, I'm excited. I love giving away stuff. I love people getting good clothing. And you can use the code SlipperyJim to save 10% off. It's a referral code. Noonan817, congratulations goes out to Noonan817. You are the lucky winner of a Into the AM gift card. And you know what? Because, now you don't know this at home, but I'm going to tell you, Sapphire, who won previously, is married to Noonan817, I think. So what I'm going to do, I have an extra one. Again, I'm just going to do two. I'm going to do two right now, because that just feels fair. I didn't have to tell you this, but I did. So we're going to do another one. Okay, Ryan! Fantastic. We will give it out to Ryan. Which Ryan? I certainly hope there aren't multiples. I usually put it, they'll be listed as Ryan on Patreon. So congratulations to Noonan and congratulations to Ryan. I'm going to give you both a $25 gift card to Into the AM, and I hope you enjoy the shirts. I know Noonan does. I've seen him wear those shirts at the World Series of Board Gaming. The same shirt that I have. Well, not this one, but it was a different one. So anyway, that's fun. I'm glad it's going to people who already like Into the AM as well. So that's great. Okay, let's get into the week. We're going to get into the week. We're going to start off with Tunnel Story. I'm filming this a little bit in advance, so I might be missing a couple. Definitely keep on flagging in the comments if I happen to miss something that is going to be in its last week. Definitely appreciate it. I will always come back and try to cover them as well. I think I missed this one because I saw RPG, and as I was scrolling through, and I just assumed that it was an RPG, but it isn't. This is a Street Fighter infused JRPG co-op adventure. Explore, fight, and survive in a world that's forgetting itself, and it's in Toronto, Canada. That's where I'm from. So yeah, let's check that out. While the video was cool, I mean, it doesn't tell me anything about gameplay, about when this will be. I would just rather watch the movie. It must be easier as a video game developer to develop things in like 16-bit or 32-bit, right? It has to be. If there's any developers out there, let me know. I'm curious in the comments. Because you see so many indie games coming out with this style, and I guess that's because you don't have to worry about the additional art. You can pixelate it. But I'm just like, I see so many board games that have this style art, and I'm always so confused. Is it easier? Is it easier to make? Like, why this style? You're not the hero, you're the legendary weapon they carry. Okay, so it's that one anime. What's that one? It's not Chainsaw Man. It's the one where he's literally a sword and they are bound to each other. Soul Eater? I need to look that up. Yeah, it's Soul Eater. Yeah, of a weapon meister and one human that can turn into a weapon. Yeah, I only watched like 2 episodes of that one. Combo dice trigger arcade style combos. Okay, so I assume you're going to be rolling like A, B, C, or A, B, X, Y, or whatever. As the relic, you're carried by heroes who retire and fall, but you endure. Ever-changing map. I just got an upsetting text message that I need to share with you all. I'm hanging out with my friend, Sarah, on December 22nd, when I get back from doing a contract in Morrisburg, Ontario, working on Christmas Carol. And she's really into Wingspan right now. And I said, oh, well, I've got all the Wingspan expansions, so we can play Wingspan if you want. And she said, oh, that's great. She's like, hey, do you want to film a video together? And I said, yeah, sure. What video do you want? She's like, Wingspan. I was like, okay, you got to be more specific. She's like, I was like a playthrough or like what? I've already done a review. And she's like, yeah, just like a playthrough. We can be dressed up as ornithologists, or we can just be dressed up as birds and just squawk the whole time and not say anything. And I was like, yeah, if you want to do that, I'm definitely down. And she said, well, I don't want to confuse your brand. And I said, excuse you? What sort of brand do you think I have here that wouldn't slip in so effortlessly, so without question? What do you think I've been working towards these past 4 years, if not to have just a video of us dressed as birds, squawking, playing Wingspan? Maybe I won't even film the top down. Maybe it's just the front view. Maybe it's just the front view. What sort of brand do you think I have, Sarah Barton? I'm telling her I'm publicly shaming you. Not shaking, shaming. Not pubic. I'm publicly shaming you on the video I'm filming right now. God, wouldn't want to interfere with my brand. What else am I here for? If not to dress up like birds and squawk while playing Wingspan, huh? I don't know if I have any bird masks, though. Better call Timu Terry. Let's learn how to play Tunnel Story. Can we do it in 60 seconds? I have a date. Nice. With me, I hope. Place your hero. Place weak terrain around the town. Presumably your hero's in the town. Each player chooses a relic, hero, and starting game mode. Choose the final crit boss card. Review the 3 curses the boss gives. Okay. So you flip over a card, you roll the dice. That means a monster encounter. Prepare for combat. Okay, so you have a random encounter. I don't mind that. I thought I was gonna, but that just decides your encounter. Oh, they're not gonna tell me the monster encounter. All right. Roll the combo dice to match the monster's combo card. What? Why am I leveling up? You haven't explained combat yet. Okay, well, we'll skip that part. Once you have the right amount of monsters captured, you can level up. All right. Cash in any 3 of your level cards. Your level cards? What's that? Now there's tunnels. Oh, you just got to keep rolling until you roll the right dice to get to the spot? You got to go through mini bosses, keep on going through. Okay, here's how you battle. Yeah, right up. A counts as a red. Oh, okay, cool. I like that flexibility, actually. You can choose a little bit. So red can count as any red button. Yellow is going to count as any yellow button. Gives you a little bit of flexibility. Quite like that. Play it blind. So they're saying just go into it playing. Don't sort through the decks. Shuffle every deck. Read the quick start. Rules teach the basics. Build your map and begin. So basically you have to roll for the combat. You'll have to roll dice based upon the enemy's weaknesses. Is there no rule book here? Doesn't look like it. 39 US, 55 Canadian. That's not bad. I wish there was a rule book. Well, it says there's a rule book. Why is it not on the page? Shipping estimated to US is 17 US, 24 Canadian. Canada, 20 US, 27 Canadian. So it'd be $83 to get this game to Canada. I'm not overwhelmed by it. Annoyed that there isn't a rule book. That's dumb. I don't mind that, I just don't see how you're going to mitigate stuff, right? Steve. Friggin' Steve. You're so nice, Steve. And I'm leaving that in because that was my reaction to Steve just sending me a little message. And Steve, you know who you are. And thanks for the gift. That's very sweet. Such a nice friggin' guy. Yeah, okay. I was distracted because I was worried that I'm going to lose this filming area in the basement of where I'm staying for like a week or so because our choreographer's coming and there's a pull-out couch down here. And so I'm trying to get it done. But then I gotta go right now. So I was worried that they were arriving. You don't need to know any of this. What are we talking about? We're talking about Tunnel Story. I like this idea of just random events that are being flipped up. I think the art's really cool. But I think the gameplay feels like it's gonna get pretty stale after a while. If it's all just rolling dice and there's no real way to mitigate that dice. I like that aspect of this dice. It's just kind of like flip a card, roll some dice, see what happens, right? So I think the randomness is going to get a little bit frustrating and not feel as satisfying on repeat plays. Yeah, I mean, the art's really cool. The art's the thing that's driving it forward. If you're interested, that is already finished. That finished Wednesday, November 26th at 10 a.m. But and thank you for pointing it out to me in the comments. Okay, we're moving on. We're at this one, Cheese Chase, the mechanical board game with a living maze. Help your mouse collect the cheese before the maze itself turns against you. This is I'm so excited for this because this is like Mousetrap. I never got Mousetrap as a kid. I always wanted to play Mousetrap, and I never did. And I thought all the little bits and bobs and things and the deluxifications. See, I was into it too. I love my deluxifications. No, I never got Mousetrap. I never There's too much. Too much. But yeah, this looks like it could be kind of like Mousetrap, but maybe a gamer's version of Mousetrap. In which case, like, I'm excited. Cheese Chase. Yeah, okay. It's not for me. Okay, fine. It's not gonna be good. It's just roll and move, but whenever you move, the board shifts. But it looks fun. Like, it looks cool. And it's $119. It's $170 Canadian. Oh, man. You can't step on the same space twice in one turn, so like any roll and move game. Oh, that's even worse. That if you change that, it would actually be okay. It'd be better. It's not a game, it's a piece of art. Yeah, that's true. No, it's not just a game. I would change it to it's not a game, it's a piece of art. But it looks fun. I mean, it looks cool. Maybe if you have children, they might friggin' go wild for this mechanical excitement thing, or maybe you just stick with Mousetrap. I don't know. That finishes Wednesday, December 3rd at 4:48 p.m. I've been looking forward to this since the last one. I was like, oh, that finishes Wednesday, so it'll start on the next one. I didn't look into it, obviously. Like, I don't even like click on them. But yeah, and then I get this. Well, what can you do? It's makes it a bit quicker for this week. We're moving on to this. This has funded. I didn't know what this is, but it's listed under tabletop games. It says the ABCs of AI Activity Deck for Kids, a simple screen-free introduction to AI for kids. And it's more of like a, oh wow, this is something that we're gonna have to start teaching our children about. And that's something that has never entered into my brain, because I'm pretty sure that all children are AI. I have yet to meet a real child. I just see photos of them online, and I see photos of them in frames at Walmart or any other frame store. And I'm not quite sure that children actually exist. I'm not quite sure I was ever a child. I don't really have the proof. I don't remember it. I don't remember. I've never been. Show me proof. Show me a child in real life right now. And I bet you can't, because I am also AI. This is my grand reveal, that it's been AI all along. Like that one channel that's like, we're AI, but we write the script. We swear we write the script ourselves for board games. We definitely do. That's why we have so many bad jokes about Catan. Because they're like, yeah, we love board games. I mean, I like Catan too still, but anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. That's what you're here for. Let's see what this is. The AI. I don't know. Are you Amber Ivy or are you AI? But like this is made by AI, isn't it? No, it's not. It's like you just put in a photo, and then it like just renders the photo slowly, I think. So like, listen, there's going to be a lot of digital AI. We're not going to show you on the computer because you've run out of screen time. So enjoy this little card instead. And it says, ask your parent what data is. They're like, I don't know. I'm busy watching Star Trek. I've never heard of that before. Never saw the sun shining so bright. Oh, Data. Oh, don't remind me. I've never seen Data before, and I never will again. Never saw a thing going so right. Anyway, the deck gives kids a chance to practice building blocks of AI thinking, like sorting, spotting patterns, and making simple predictions, all without a device. These are core logic skills that show across many technologies and problem-solving tasks. It's a healthy, screen-free way to build a foundation that will grow over time. First step towards AI literacy. I mean, I think AI literacy is a very important thing that we can all benefit from. I'm not quite sure that this deck will be the way to do it, but yeah, it exists. So the finish is Wednesday, December 3rd at 11:59 p.m. I just thought I'd bring it up. We got this one coming up over on GameFound, the Microrama Collection. It's a set of 4 standalone solo games, each offering a rich thematic experience in a compact box. Whether you're managing a doomed convoy in a post-apocalyptic desert, leading a noble guild through political intrigue, navigating alien corridors in deep space, or fighting for survival in a neon-lit cyberpunk city, each game delivers intense, focused gameplay in just 20 to 40 minutes. All games are solo first, fast to set up, and easy to store. Well, I know one person, just one, who likes solo games. The others have all been imposters. They've been lying to you this whole time. Okay, let's see what this is. There's no video. City of Fury includes a 2-player co-op mode. Yeah, sure. Hand management, combos, brawling. Okay, good. They're gonna tell us how to play, I'm sure. Just with videos. How long are these videos? 20-minute videos each. Nope, not doing that. Ugh, just let me interact with it in the way that is helpful for my learning and in a way that I can actually look at the things that people leave out. I mean, I make videos. I've got an Everland video coming up, when a paid playthrough of that which is, oh man, it's so friggin' good. Which, like, I made a slight rules mistake in, and then on subsequent plays afterwards, because Zach and I have kept playing it because we really like it, we realize, oh shoot, we were doing this wrong. And then you write a little note or whatever. But that's the problem with videos, right? Like, not to disparage any creator, but that's why I like working with rule books, because you will go through and you won't like miss a key element that might shift the feeling of the game. Our mistake didn't shift the feeling of the game, but like we were excited to try it and see it differently. I thought it would have a larger impact on the gameplay than it did. I was like, oh no, what if this really changes how we feel? But it was, you know, pretty much the same. Anyway, this is maddening. This is absolutely maddening to me. No, if there were 4 rule books, I would read them. If videos exist, you can go watch the videos, right? For me, you come to me for a rulebook breakdown and to catch the things that maybe aren't covered in the videos or come up as like closet cases, or which will define how the games will feel. Well, that's disappointing. They seem reasonable for the price. Like, it's €16, $27 Canadian. Shipping, I know, is €18 for all of it. So they want you to get all the games. I think the auto translate on YouTube needs a little work. Yeah, anyway, we're moving on. Let me know if you've played these, I guess. 500 backers exactly. I imagine the solo game of the month or better. Let's move on to this one. Survive Nuclear Apocalypse. A strategic survival game with shifting alliances and brutal choices in a nuclear wasteland. Seems like it might be cheap. I mean, I like the art of it. I think it's going to be pretty simple, but there might be some decent twists to it. I like this potential of the lucky dice and the exhausted dice, where only one face of the dice is good or bad, depending upon if it's lucky or exhausted. Everybody starts with 5 food, 5 water. You don't want to get 5 rad cards. I don't know what you're supposed to be doing. Just surviving, I guess. Players win together if at least one survivor remains when all event cards are drawn. Okay, so you can die, and that's fine. If all players reach 5 rad cards, they lose. You can trade things. Sure, so you're just trying to work your way through this event deck, essentially. And the event deck is just dice checks. That's all it is. And you can discard stuff for items to use additional things. How much are you, $20? Not $20, $42. Don't like that as much. I mean, I think the art looks really fun, but essentially what this game comes down to is roll a bunch of dice for stat checks, see if you survive. It's kind of like the Oregon Trail, but a little bit better than the Oregon Trail. If you've ever played the Oregon Trail board game, which is like you just have cards and you might already be dead, that's what this is, but you just might roll poorly and you might be dead, or if you roll successfully, you might be alive. And choosing the events that you go through to push your luck and using items on it, yeah, it's not too bad. Special launch day. Oh, the launch day special was $25, which is 37 Canadian. So it's 29 for the $29 US, which is 42 Canadian. It's okay. And then delivery fees, a lot. In fact, oh no, that's not a lot. I just saw the big numbers and I didn't see it. 69 Hong Kong dollars. So that's 70. So it's about a third. Quick math says it's about $14 Canadian. $12.50. I was wrong. I got to turn in my estimation math. Gold medal. But yeah, it seems not like anything I would ever be interested in. But I think the art itself looks really cool. Is it AI? Oh yeah, by combining AI assisted illustrations. Those are good. AI assisted. So they start with this and then they end up with this. Man, AI's getting good. Certainly is. It's a shame that the only saving grace for me is the stuff generated by a machine, but let's all head towards our nuclear apocalypse together. That finishes Thursday, December 4th at 9 a.m. We're on to this one, Snowdonia Grand Tour and Special Edition. The highly acclaimed scenario-based Euro game is back. Explore a new mega expansion alongside a refreshed and updated base game. A new board system introduces gorgeous new art, superior usability, and the best gameplay yet. So Snowdonia has been around for a while. It's something that I've been interested in looking in. Oh, sweet. It's a Kagan. Anytime I see a Kagan Productions video, I know I'm going to get such a great feeling of the gameplay. 14 destinations. Dang, there's so many maps. There's so many maps, and they all seem to have different mechanisms. You don't need this as a jumping in point. A new mega expansion. Are all these maps new? That's insane if they are. Wild. Okay, Snowdonia is a scenario-based worker placement railway building classic designed by Tony Boydell. The special edition boasts gorgeous new artwork, fastest, easiest setup, and an amazing scenario. An amazing new scenario. Okay, cool. You'll take the role of railway construction companies all working on the same line. You'll excavate rubble, collect and refine resources, and then lay the track and build stations to populate the route. You'll need to contend with changing weather, events, and your opponent's efforts to win. The Grand Tour is Snowdonia's most ambitious expansion yet, boasting 12 scenarios and a campaign mode compatible with every scenario released. Each new scenario comes with its own bespoke board, elevating the visuals and gameplay of Snowdonia to new heights. So yeah, it is 12 scenarios. Wow, that's insane. It really is a massive new expansion. Anyway, I love Kagan Productions. There's no secret that I love Kagan Productions. I've worked with them on I did a wrap for their show reel, and then I did a wrap for the Universes card game too. So we've worked in terms of producing trailers together, just from a writing aspect of it. But the reason why I started working with Kagan Productions, it was a little tangent, but just goes to show the strength of their video production, is because he contacted me once. He's like, hey, I notice whenever one of my videos comes up, you say, wow, what a good video. Can I use you, supercut you as part of a promo reel? And I was like, sure, I don't care. I said what I said. I don't even know you. And that's how we first got in touch, because I just anytime I see a video from them, I understand the game. And I think their videos are so much better than anybody else in the market, because they sit down with the creators and they're like, okay, how do we concisely tell the feeling of this game? And through this video, I think I understand the scope of what's happening and some slight little bits of the gameplay, which is awesome. And then it gives me a nice little jumping off point when I dive into the rulebook, because I've been interested in Snowdonia. I've seen it on the secondhand market a little bit. The all-new Snowdonia fan for 167 Canadian, with all of those scenarios and expansion, that actually feels really good. But I don't feel like for me personally, I would never want to get this, because it's too much. It's way too much content for me, not knowing that I like the game yet, right? Base game only. So you can get the base game, just the special edition, for £49, 92 Canadian. Feels on par with other special editions. Or you can just get the Grand Tour for 122 Canadian, £65. Obviously the best price. I mean, it feels like you should just get the at this point, when it's $30 in the difference. I don't know, if you have Snowdonia, still just get the all-in new Snowdonia fan and give one to a friend. Here's how to play. You place workers, you resolve the actions. You can collect resources, you can excavate the rubble, you can refine resources, you can lay track of a place that you've now excavated. You can build stations and trains, travel with your surveyor, or fulfill contracts. Yeah, refresh the weather contracts and change the weather. Restock the yard, resolve events. When the last track is laid, whoever's the most victory points wins. So that's an interesting end game thing. You're trying to excavate as much as you can, removing those cubes, getting more cubes, laying down track. That makes a lot of sense to me. I feel it's decently reviewed. It's been around for a little bit. What is it on BGG? I like this facelift. I really like this facelift that it's doing. 2019. What's the rank? Am I blind? Yeah, rank 814. So it's in the top 1,000. This is what the old stuff looked like. You didn't have meeples, but you just had peoples. Discles. They're called discles, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of Euro games out there, right? There's a lot of really good Euro games out there, which I love. I enjoy interacting with. Nothing about this really pulls me in to get it, but I imagine it is one of those solid Euro games that if you're a Euro gamer, you would enjoy. I think the amount of scenarios that have been added, so special edition scenarios, okay, so there's a couple new scenarios there, but just the Grand Tour scenarios, the amount of friggin' scenarios that have been added into here and the different changes of the maps, I think is insane. I think this feels like a real value pick if you like Snowdonia, and it feels like the only value here is either the base game or the all-in. For Snowdonia, don't you clip that. Don't you say I said it. I know I'll be taken out of context. That's great that the Grand Tour can be used for any version of Snowdonia as well. No AI art as well. Shipping, base game to Canada is £16, £20 for the Grand Tour, so $25 for the all-in. That's a lot of pounds. US is £14 for all across the board. Oh, and there is no, that's great. There is no rulebook on the page, so I don't have to read it. That's how that works. Yeah, there's a lot of really good Euro games out there, though. Snowdonia currently isn't setting itself apart in terms of doing anything, but if you've been wanting to try it for a while, this feels like a really nice time to pick it up. Pretty decent as well. As always, make sure to check your local store because it's been out, so you might be able to find it for cheaper. That finishes on the 4th at 10 a.m. I think it looks solid. I think it looks really solid. But I also think it's as solid as Euro games can be, right? I think the value is there in terms of the amount of scenarios. It's like you're getting a bunch of Ticket to Ride expansions all together, right? That's kind of how I'm viewing it. So I see that being like a decent value pick if the game is right for you. Unfortunately, they don't have a rulebook on the page. It's just going to be another generic Euro. It's a worker placement game, pretty simple actions, converting resources. If that gets your spine all a tickling, then you should check it out. If it doesn't, then there's nothing for you to see here. Okay, we're moving on. Moving on to this one. Zeit Heist, not the Zeitgeist. That's different. A time-traveling heist-building drafting game for 2 to 6 players. You know, I was like, when I first clicked on it, I was like, oh, you're going to say Zeitgeist. Haha, it sounds the same. And you're just going to point out the obvious pun. And then I was like, come up with a better joke, you stupid idiot. And then I didn't. Then we got here, and now we're here. So I would like to travel back in time to before I said what I said. Zeit Heist, not the Zeitgeist. That's different. Okay, you don't have to replay it in slow motion. That was just rude. That was a vision of Chris of the future shaming Chris from the past, who is currently Chris of the present. It gets confusing in here with all of us, but what can you do? Steal the Zeitnium. That's like a rate urania. Damn it. Like a Zeitgeist. No, come, get yourself together, Chris. And become a trillionaire. I'd be happy with just being a millionaire. You know, call me basic, but I'd be happy with being a millionaire. We have this thing going on. So in the cast that we're doing, Melissa, who we played Dinosaur Island Run right yesterday, and I'm hopeful that I've got a couple of people in the cast are going to play a lot of games, so hopefully we'll be able to do a little cast recap. Anyway, we're playing, it was a very raucous game of Dinosaur Island Run right as people named their rides, and you could go on a little lap ride, and whatever that was. Anyway, what was I saying? Anyway, so one of the people in the cast, Melissa, is just claiming she's the best improviser in Toronto. And so we've just been yes-anding, but like bad yes-ands. And so anytime they say something, I always go, yes, and I have a lot of money. And that's all I've been doing. And everybody else is like trying to do like riff off each other. And I'll just come in and go, yes, and I have lots of money. And I think it's very funny. So yeah, I would be happy to just be a millionaire. Just a millionaire. I'll set my sights low. Scientists or Zeitniists. Nailed it. Saved it. Saved the bit. Saved it. It's $1 trillion for a single gram of Zeitnium. Yeah, because you can go back in time forever. That's what it says. You break the universe. Okay, but if the Zeitnium exists and it can provide infinite time travel, then the outcome's already determined because naturally you're going to go back in time and help yourself create the perfect crew to get the Zeitnium. Like, you've already created this loop. If this exists, it's already been stolen and there's no way to get it because somebody's already paradoxed themselves into it for everlasting life. If you are that person, come through the door right now. I'm in Morrisburg, Ontario. You could have figured it. Okay, you could have figured it out. You could have figured it out where I was at. I'm at a winery. I think that's just rude. I know one of you out there is a time traveler, and you could have given me the lottery numbers, and you didn't. And I think that's quite rude. After all I've done for you, giving you the Zeitnium. Sweet, you're drafting. I just don't buy how any of these crooks aren't going to backstab you. The theme's really jarring with me because I just don't get how these crooks don't walk away with the money. With the there's only one Zeitnium. It's worth $1 trillion. How does one crook not walk? Like, what are you paying them? $1 million? Well, okay, maybe I am now understand why nobody walked through that door. You knew I was going to say it, didn't you? Oh, I take it back. I'd do it for $1 million. We talked about this. I'm happy. I'll give you the Zeitnium. The target's going to be on your back anyway, and I'll get a nice, $10 million in untraceable Cayman Island bank accounts. Just send it my way. Anyway, it seems like a very simple game. You're drafting cards. You want to get 3 of a kind at the right time. So the sneak-ins happen early before, the break-ins happen at some point in time, or the cops happen at the end of the time. The obvious strategy would be to not take any of the people and just take the swapping things and bribing people over to your side. That's how it feels to me. But you draft a card, then you play a card, you use their ability. People get knowledge of who you have. $29, that's not bad, actually. It's 41 Canadian, but I thought it was going to be more than that. US base tier is $9, Canada $25, so almost $80 to get to my door. Not interested at all for that. But yeah, cute enough game. The theme is going to do a lot of work. It reminds me like maybe a better One Last Heist for Claypole, if you're watching. Yeah, maybe you might like it. That finishes Thursday, December 4th at 11:59 a.m. We are not going to cover this Cryptborn, a solo Souls-like roll and write, because guess what? You guessed it. They did the £1 pre-pledge. Blech. And even though it was only for a pin, I still hate it. So we're moving on to Restless. Look into those eyes in the sky's the limit, I'm restless. Restless is a fantasy adventure game where you and 3 other players lose yourself in a vast open world brimming with danger, treasures, and excitement. Each session is packed with gripping events that culminate in an epic boss fight. Ooh la la, lo 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 lo, oh lo 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 lo. So it's kind of like the Elder Scrolls in that a playthrough is 3 acts. You're going to face somebody at the end of each act. Focuses heavily on the feeling of adventure. Each turn takes you to a new encounter. So you'll have an adventure book. You'll be looking up the different things that are going to be happening to you, leveling up your equipment stats. I'm interested to see this dice rolling. It looks like you'll have to roll the dice and assign them to your abilities based upon if you rolled correctly or not. So it's like a create your own stat checks style game. Core pledge is going to be €65, 107 Canadian. You'll also get the expansion and wooden resources and a card binder to organize all shops for €115, 190 Canadian. Oh, no, okay, 147 Canadian. So you just lose the wooden resources in the binder for the additional $40. I will admit, the binders for Elder Scrolls are very fun, so I could see these being decent as well. Oh, you're not going to give me a rule book, are you? I'm going to be so mad at it. Oh, I'm not going to be mad. It's in the components for some reason, but a beautiful thing. Oh, baby, give it to me. Give it to me, daddy. Okay, not a big rule book either. Turn-based adventure game, because most of it's going to be in the adventure book, right? Okay, yeah, this is the key to this game right here. Restless does not rely on your imagination to craft the adventure, because you'll be experiencing it in the adventure book. You experience events read aloud by a storyteller. Any player who's not the active player may take on the role of the storyteller. If you're playing solo, you take on both roles. The storyteller reads the event the active player is experiencing out loud until they reach a choice or a predetermined outcome. If the active player makes a choice, the storyteller then has to read the entire italic text leading up to the choice. If a player has the opportunity to manipulate a die result or choose from different options, they must make their choice beforehand. The storyteller only reveals the final outcome. It's a big choose-your-own-adventure story with some little dice rolling. There's some dice here that you're going to be mitigating based upon your stats as well. The goal of this rulebook is to be read only once. Ideally, you could use it to kindle the flames in your fireplace before the first session. To make this possible, you can find all essential information such as icons, keywords, and simplified setup in more accessible components. Quick starts in the thing of the adventure book. Cool. Okay, so what do you do? There's a doom tracker, which is impending doom. There's a travel phase where you travel to different regions. If you haven't explored it, you mark it as explored. You then read a little thing. Then there'll be an event, which you will roll for. Or if you've written down adventures, so if you found that there's an adventure, basically you know that there's something in a certain location, you can trigger that instead of getting a different event. And that's it. Move to a place, experience something, figure something out. To use the dice, its color and value must match those of the slot you place them on. So you're trying to mitigate the dice that you can roll, what you're going to put in there. Yeah, it's just a big choose-your-own-adventure game. Monsters have the same attack pattern that'll show you how many attack dice they roll, and if they can trigger attacking you, you'll roll back and forth trying to activate your abilities. Bosses follow the same rules. They'll have a bunch more dice to hurt you, but you can all attack them together. It's a big choose-your-own-adventure game. Shipping is €19 to the US, 27 to Canada. It's an open world game, but there are a lot of open world games. This one costs $100 for not very interesting dice rolls, I find. Not like, I don't see the fun in hoping you roll your stat checks a ton. I'm very surprised this is even funded, to be honest. I think people just saw the art and saw open world and just went for it, maybe. I'm really curious. Restless Designs. What else? They probably haven't done anything. Yeah, it's probably just this. So great job for a first-time creator. Very surprising to me. I don't think this looks really good at all. but that's because I don't like sitting around and reading a book with my friends. And that's what I find a lot of campaigns are. Like a lot of choose your own adventures are. It's no shade, but that's what a lot of them are. And this seems really heavy on that aspect. But if you're interested, hey, you can check it out. The finish is on the 4th at 3 p.m. We're going to move on. We're moving on to Alaria, the Goblin King's Dungeon. Only 81 backers here. A fast, replayable fantasy dungeon crawl using poker card combos. Face traps, find treasures, and defeat the Goblin King. Sure. Also, this isn't anything to do with Alaria Quest, but again, because I'm doing 17 things all at the same time, always. Yo, thanks everybody for who's a new commenter who was commenting. I keep getting notifications because I forgot that I asked people. I didn't forget it was meaningful to me. Of being like, hey, if you haven't commented on the channel before, like, comment. And it's like awesome to hear from all of you. That's just kind of cool. Okay, bye. We're back into this. This is from MTG Jedi, who's a streamer of Raid Shadow Legends, it looks like, or something else. But like he's got Raid Shadow Legends was what my 10-second search of him brought out. He's now created a board game company. He said, I'm gonna quit my job and go into the lucrative business of board game production. Great. How are you going to? Are you going to tell me anything about the game? Here we go. Here's how games unfolds. Shuffle the quest deck. Shuffle the poker deck. Choose your game mode. On your turn, flip up a card for everybody to resolve. It's just like flip a card and see what happens. There's a couple targets. That's not a poker hand. It's a nothing hand. I don't know if that's a combo. You get 3 in a row. What? Hearts are worth 1 point each. Loot is worth 2 points each. Add them up and the highest score wins the game. This is not clear. Everybody starts with some heart tokens. Oh, you can hit the target number. You can use, subtract, multiply, or divide to combine the cards to equal your target number. So it's just a math puzzle. For the boss fight, it's like, hey, hit the 12 and you have 5 cards. Better do it to subtract, add. I mean, I like those puzzles, but like that doesn't sound, and that's all they're telling us. Okay, there is a rule book. This is gonna get this done before I have to go. I think I should just move all this stuff upstairs and then finish in my room later. Right, because you're choosing how much these are valued. At least the suits are in an order I understand. Of spades, hearts, diamonds, clubs, so it's bridge. On each player's turn, they flip up the top card of the quest deck, follow the encounter rules. Each player will participate in the encounter. Once it's encountered, you then go to the next encounter. 2-minute timer for a boss counter is suggested. Yeah, so it's just that little puzzle thing. And so the encounters are like, oh, it's a trap. Everyone flip a card. So that would be like, the target is, oh, you have to hit one of the targets. You have to hit a 4 or a 12 in that case, or in the easy version they're all 1s, right? So let's pretend they're all 1s. It's like, oh, how do I get to a 4? I'll go like 7 times 5 is 35 plus 1 is 36. 36 divided by 9 is 4. 4 times 1 is 4, right? Like it's that sort of stuff. Oh, here you just flip a card and see what happens. Oh, unfortunately, it doesn't seem good at all, would be my breakdown of it. But if you see something different, check it out. The finish is Thursday, December 4th at 11:59 p.m. I'm moving on because anything else I say would just feel mean. And I imagine this will be the same. We got Beer Stop, a card game involving risk-taking, bluffing, and hangovers. Uh-oh. Oh, no. I really need something good this week. I guess I am going to have to include Rove and Arydia. I'm just not going to finish before I have to leave. So Beer Stop is just like Red Dragon's Inn. You want to get the most beer coins. You draw beer cards showing the alcohol collection. You can keep it. You can discard it. You can give it to somebody else. Or you can say stop. So just don't bust. Try not to bust, draw cards from the game. At least it kind of knows what it is. That finishes Friday, December 5th at 4 a.m. if you want a game about beer where you're trying to not drink over the limit. Well, there you go. Check it out. Okay, let's do this one. Oh, it's a print and play, and it's raised a bunch of money. Okay, maybe you'll be exciting. Streets of Revenge. It's Streets Ahead of Revenge. A micro game. Pierce, stop trying to make Streets Ahead work. I have to say that, you're streets behind. A micro game of cards and dice that captures the essence of an 80s card game beat 'em ups. Sure, let's check it out. Ooh, a testosterone-fueled board game? I'm in. Nothing bad has ever happened with an excess of testosterone. And well, revenge has mostly happened. Okay, Oscar, this is your first print and play. €3, 5 Canadian. Art's friggin' sick. Was it AI? As a creative support, followed by extensive manual editing and touch-ups on each piece. Like, all of this, every time there's an AI statement, I'm going into AI a lot. I don't normally do that. But every time there's an AI statement, it's like, I'm never sure what it means. I'm never sure what it means. I kind of feel like this is useless because it's like, yeah, I did use AI. For what? Well, I used it for some concept stuff, but then like I did some stuff too. That doesn't tell me anything. You could have done a little stick figure, and then you could have had an idea in your head, and then AI brings it out, and then you like made them smile, right? Like, doesn't help whatsoever. But hey, it's a little print and play that, like, obviously it's all generated by AI. Let's be real. It's like, yeah, I thought of a cool wrestler, and then I saw some AI drawings and it made it a cool wrestler. You know, like that's what a lot of this the art, and it's no shade to Streets of Revenge specifically. Okay, but here's the game. It's a little print and play. Like I don't want to dump on a print and play person. They're not making rolling in it. Well, maybe they are. Like they're making friggin' $2,500 off of it, which is not bad, which is more than a lot of like indie designers who produce a box game will make. Okay, I'm trying to take basic actions like moving, attacking, pushing your enemies. Then you can spend turbo points to supercharge them. Get a special attack. Each successful roll of a combo die unleashes a frenzy. So you get to roll it again, I guess? Okay, there are rules, yeah. All right. All of it was just 35 pages of rules, jeez. No wonder they were like, yeah, you can upgrade, you can attack, there's all these thugs. Fight, fight, fight. So there's always going to be an attack range, you're going to have a small map, you're represented by dice, you're going to move around with your dice, you're going to activate your attack combos, and then whatever you roll and gets hit, it gets to be re-rolled. So you can combo things together. That's like the pow, 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 pow. If you want to see some real combos, go check out the Brawlhalla video that Zach and I did. Very stupid, because we added in awesome, cool fight moves. I am most proud of. I think the things that I like on this channel that nobody cares about watching are often the playthroughs. Often we do something really stupid with the playthroughs. The Emerland playthrough is just going to be a straight playthrough, and I kind of regret not giving them something stupid, but I just, like, we were just really excited to play it out of the box and see how that works, so we didn't want to do anything conceptually with it, but wanted to see, like, as an Everdell player, can you just open it up and play very easily? And the answer was yes. But yeah, our playthroughs are really dumb, and you should check them out. Like the Brawlhalla one, or the Murder at Tealwood's Manor one, or the stupid Hex Effects one. If what makes me laugh makes you laugh, then you'll enjoy them. And if not, that's fair. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of just like re-rolling dice, chaining things together, hoping to upgrade your actions, upgrading yourself as you go through different stages. Seems fun. It's just like a bunch of different, when you pare it down, it's a bunch of different characters with minute special abilities, which will be attacking in different patterns, and re-rolling the dice over and over, hoping that you get to combo hits together, and moving a little bit around on a grid. It's $5. If that seems interesting to you, you can check it out. That finishes Friday, December 5th at 9:28 a.m. Moving along to Exceed 7th Cross, the legendary dueling card game from Level 99 Games. Dueling card game?
So it's just like Duel Monsters.
I assume it must be. In its most epic season ever, featuring Echo Fighters and a free gift for followers. All right. I'm sure I've covered this before. It's another fighting game turned into a simple card game. Apparently it's the best-selling fighting card game of all time. Take that, Twisted Fables. Shout out to Ashley. Look at these powerful attacks. They've got lightning bolt effects on them. You know that means they'll be cool. Strike your opponents with special moves and ultras. Use cards to boost yourself and transform into powerful monsters. Slash your opponent's life to 0 and be the last fighter standing. Oh, download the rulebook right there. It's just the how to play section is only download the rulebook. Love it. Love it. Cool. You have 2 modes as a character. You have 1 mode and an exceed mode that you need some gauge or gauge cost. All attacks have 2 parts. Top part is the attack. Boosts are played with the boost action. I love multi-use cards. That seems fun. A deck is created out of a normal set and a character set, so you shuffle in like the character's special abilities. Really like that. Interesting. Here are the actions that you can choose. You can take one of these actions. Prepare, just draw a card. Change cards. Spend force to draw cards. Okay. Exceed. Spend gauge to power up into exceed mode. Okay, when you flip. Reshuffle your deck and discard pile to form a new deck. It can only be done once per game. Spend force to move around the board. Use a card for its boost effect. Or strike. Both players play a card secretly from their hands and resolve the cards based on the rules in the striking section. So it's very simple. A lot of these actions are non-actions, like fun things. It's like, what do you do? I draw a card. What do you do? Me? I'm gonna draw a card. Right? Brawlhalla worked in a very similar way, but striking is going to be the majority of where things are going to come from. You get cards into your gauge area by hitting opponents and can use to activate your character's ability. Oh, right, because every card has force, so you're basically just cycling your deck for change cards. Or you just draw one, or you can like be like, man, I don't have anything to do. I'm going to get rid of my whole hand and basically mulligan. I really love how you have to scroll up 7 pages or 10 pages to remind you which of these does what, because there's no iconography on it. So the top card, it's like your range, it's how much damage it does, and the speed. So which one activates first. And then you'll also get the card play text. So you're just trying to suss out, when do you play your cards? Is your opponent in range? Should you move into range and then have them attack you, etc., back and forth? It seems fine. I mean, I think the art seems fun, but otherwise it doesn't seem like anything special to me. Returning Light, $15, 4 fighters and everything you need to play if you wanted to try it out. I think this would actually be the pledge. $15 seems very reasonable. Don't get the complete gameplay. Just get a few heroes and be like, maybe, yeah, 142 2 cards. That makes sense. If you have 4 heroes, you need a 30-card deck to do it. That feels like it will have enough cards in it to play. I don't think this looks very good because I don't know. I've never been that interested in the fighting card game genre, or like the fighting beat 'em up translated into a card game. It all feels very much the same to me, and it all feels very quick. Very quick, not like a huge decision space. Not enough of a decision space to like bluff my opponents, which I like if it's a streamlined game. I don't mind streamlined games, but I like there being something where I can like bluff and hold on to people with. Yeah, not really that interested, but if you are, check it out. The finish is on the 5th at 12 p.m. And finally, not finally, I've got some more, but this is the last one that I'm going to do before I have to reorganize everything for myself. You don't need to know this. But I like telling you, I speak what's on my mind. I'm just a stream of consciousness. What can I say? It's Cascadia Alpine Lakes. This is a standalone puzzly tile layering follow-up to the award-winning game Cascadia, with beautiful artwork by Beth Sobel. What is going to go on here? Is it tile layering? So is it Harmonies-esque? I don't know. This is interesting. What is going to happen here? Standalone Alpine Lakes? Can we get this at WSBG? Like, okay, so that's Cascadia. Oh, you have two tiles, and you can put them on top of each other. Yeah, you have double tiles. And you have hamsters in this one. Oh, you score habitats. You also score for highest. Is it hamsters? I need to know if it's hamsters. That's the most important thing for me. I can't see how this is worth getting on Kickstarter, though. Okay, so it's a new Cascadia. The changes being that your tokens are now 2 instead of 1, and you can place your tokens on top of other tokens. I guess that's the risk of putting wildlife tokens on things, because then you can't, like, squish them. Oh, no, you can. If placing a new tile, as long as it can support that wildlife token, it can go up there. So you don't smush your donkeys with a giant field, a giant mountain field. The donkey's not like, and then splunk. No, they get to do something else. They're okay. They can stick around. And you want to build up your lakes. You want alpine lakes. Nobody wants a friggin' lake on the ground. What do I want to get sucked into, an underwater abyss? No, I want to be swimming on top of a mountain and overlooking the peasants below me. And when I dive down, I want to dive down and I want to see the peasants looking up at me from the bottom. That's what I want. I want to be king of this world. The higher the mountain, the better the lap ride. Lap rides? It's too much to go into. Here's the scoring. You don't score habitats and wildlife separately. You score them together. So I think that's interesting. Like the forest and unique people in that forest. I assume it's per cluster of forest that you're doing, right? Per cluster of meadow. So you want to cluster. You don't want everything together. You do want to break things up with the terrain, which I think is neat. I think the wildlife elevation, you score 2 points for each wildlife token at elevation 3+, plus additional points for having the highest of the 5 wildlife types. You just really want to yank things up to 3+. They're really forcing that elevation on you. Acropolis does this too in terms of incentivizing that elevation. So it might be taking some lessons learned from Acropolis, which I think is a great game. And then lakes, you score points based on the elevation of the lake and the environment. So you want them to be completely surrounded. So basically, all the tiles you get at the beginning mean nothing, and then you can have fun with them in the middle of the game. They'll, like all flat-out games, there will be additional scoring cards, which only make the game better. This is... Oh, there's a print and play. Sick. Nice. $10, 15 Canadian. Or you can get the Kickstarter edition for $39. It's 55 Canadian, plus additional shipping. Says you'll save $20 off MSRP, and you'll get a few promos as well. I get it. It's great that the rulebook is here as well. I'll take a look through that, but I don't expect to see anything drastically different. That's going to make me change my mind about things. But I do want to know what the types are. Cougars, okay. Marmots and pikas? Mountain goats and pikas? Marmots? Marmots and Pikas. Little Pikachus? I think this seems cool. I don't think it will replace Cascadia for me. I think Cascadia is fine. I imagine it will resonate well as a Cascadia alternative. Fun to have that 3D element. Theoretically, it'll be better than Cascadia because Randy Flynn will have learned lessons through Cascadia and then made it even better. But I'm less interested in this than I am in Cascadia right now. But it does give you a bunch of different scoring conditions, so that's pretty nice. We have subsidized over $250,000 of backer shipping charges to help pick in. Wow. So it's $14 to US, $17 to Canada. So if I'm saving $20 off MSRP, I'm saving $3 on MSRP, right? I imagine that the Kickstarter promos, which are just a few cards, they're fun. They're fun enough if you know you're going to get the game. Maybe it's worth getting. I just feel like I would bet on this being out in retail pretty quickly, and I can bet that you could get it cheaper on like a Black Friday sale or stuff like that. I don't mind waiting for things so that I can have them be a bit cheaper. But yeah, I think this looks good. It looks very much like Cascadia 2.0 or Cascadia 1.5, let's say. Cascadia Acropolis Point expansion. So that finishes Saturday, December 6th at 12 p.m. if you're interested. Next up, we got Powerwell Fates. 6 heroes, shared mana, infinite strategy, duel for the Powerwell in a fast competitive card game. Match 3 style dueling card game, 2 players or 4. Inspired by classic arcade fighting games and modern puzzles. Pick from 6 8 asymmetric heroes, each with bespoke mechanics and duel for control of the Powerwell. I like the question marks. We're like, we don't know. Okay, the standard edition is 35. We're going with 50. The Keystones. They're a shared source of power that both players will compete for. Each player can activate their abilities using the Keystone card closest to their side and the middle Keystone card. Okay. You activate abilities by drawing imaginary lines through the same colored adjacent non-diagonal Keystone. As long as the line is continuous and does not cross back over itself, the play is valid. Yeah, that makes sense. This is a very bad graphic because you'd think that it wouldn't be curved. It shouldn't be curved. It should be straight lines, but they wanted to make it curved to make it seem more exciting. Okay, so you don't know what type of things you can activate, but you'll have a random activation. Like this one, they're going to get to activate a lot of yellow and just maybe win. So you connect the keystones to activate abilities, you cover them up, I guess, and then you drop a card and activate a card. Your cards are placed on their color match zone of the exhaustion track. Okay, and then you just refill. So there's ways of manipulating the market when it's like a really strong market for your opponent. Okay, cool. So you're continually adding cards, and once they reach their color again, they'll go back into your hand. So I like that in terms of a cooldown system. Lose enough health and you'll have to toss a coin. This will be your new maximum health for the rest of the fight. Okay, so there's a point where you can't heal back up to max. Toss a coin, your foe will choose one of your colors. You have to place the abilities on your exhaustion tracks. You don't lose access to them. Wow. Oh, okay, and when you've used all of your colors, they become something else. I mean, this is a bad example. Oh, you can use it as a bridge, but it doesn't get added to your mana. I see. So you see this can do a 4-cost yellow. Because you can hit all 4 yellow, but it's not like it's a 5 cost. Right, and every person has their own different decks or different play styles. Yeah, that was a nice little rules explanation. $50. It's a bit too expensive for me, as per usual. A lot of things are going to be too expensive for me soon because I got majorly scaled back for WSBG, and we'll see what the new year looks like. To almost nothing. Gives me more time to work on room and board. Yeah, shipping to US is 12, Canada's 15. Seems like a small enough game. Yeah, I think this seems okay. I don't mind this as a neat little system. It's nice to see a little bit of innovation in terms of what sort of mana you can use. I mean, for me, it's still going to take, $70 to get this to my door. I don't play that many dueling card games to make this worth it, but seems cute, seems decent, and I like that they've hit their funding. That's nice. That finishes Monday, December 8th at 3:01 p.m. Okay, moving along to this one, 7 Ages, the Collector's Edition. It's an Australian design group's groundbreaking game covering 6,000 years of human history from 4000 BC to today. So, depending if you're talking to some Seventh-day Adventists, maybe the entirety of human history. Against the backdrop of triumph and tragedy, you must lead your dynasties to decide the fate of the world's empire across the ages by gaining glory in all fields of human endeavor, art, science, geography, history, and architecture, while defending your people from the winds of international intrigue and mischief. Will you be immortalized throughout history? I think I covered this at one point. Let's see. No? I guess not. Yeah, I guess not. All right. I like that they're quoting, "As you like it, all the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrance. Says one man at a time plays many parts, his act being 7 ages." They're referring to the life of man, the different ages of man, but that's okay. I like that it's all right here. Oof, the Collector's Edition is expensive though, $99. It's intended as an action-based game with a menu of 7 actions to choose from for each empire each turn. Every game is I go, you go. So I assume that's the follow mechanism and they're just pretending it's unique, but I don't know. We'll find out. At the start, look at your empires, decide which action marker you want to place on each this turn. You can start new empires, especially if you're playing with less people. You only have 1 marker for each action. So you're like placing your markers to indicate I'm doing this action here, and then that means you can't take it in the other empires as well. Interesting. You're producing, you're trading around, you're going to move your people, and you can attack each other. Choose what units you commit. Add in card modifiers for combat. The game ends when the first empire passes the 49th progress level, or when you decide to end. You're like, we're done. Whoever's the most glory wins. Got it. If you only have an hour, the player with the most glory after an hour wins. They're like, just play whatever, play how long you like. But the ideal is that every time you take an action, you have 7 actions, so it'll be essentially 7 rounds, because 7 times 7 is 49. You have 7 actions. Every time you take an action, you move the tracker. A game where you're expanding outwards. It's a tough sell. There's not a lot here. Feels pretty involved. Feels very sort of war game adjacent. So if you're in the market for something like that, you can check it out. The classic pledge is $66 to 95 Canadian. There's not a lot that's pulling me in here, but honestly, I'm a bit tired and not as focused right now. I just don't have the bandwidth to go into this. If you really want me to, I can look into it next week again and really parse through the whole thing. But it seems very board game adjacent, and the creation of the different empires that you have, it might be interesting because you're kind of moving a bunch of different things. I like the civilize action that you can just take out your leader and replace them with a new leader, take out your religion, replace it with a new religion. But like game-wise, rather than theme-wise, game-wise, all that would mean would be sort of replacing abilities or replacing, general consensus on people. So yeah, I don't know. That finishes on the 8th at 5 p.m. The 8th, which is Monday, so next Monday. Yeah, we only have 2 more to cover. We're going to cover Rove Anchorpoint, and the Rove reprint. This is from Addicts Games. I did a playthrough of this with West Todd, when he used to work for them. And now they're coming back with a compact and affordable campaign game built on the challenging and tactical system from the original Rove. It features a 25 encounter cooperative campaign, 12 all-new characters, and deep progression and leveling choices. Designed for both seasoned Rove veterans and newcomers alike, Anchorpoint delivers epic experience in a small, content-rich package. So it feels like this is their Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion style as well, whereas Rove was their Gloomhaven. I thought Rove was quite good. I thought it was pretty quick to table. Anchorpoint is coming in at $50. That feels really good. I want to watch their video and see what they say. Oh, right. It's kind of like Pokemon, their evolution system. Yeah, I think this is great. I mean, I think this looks really good. Well, obviously Tom liked it. It's basically Gloomhaven. I think this is really awesome to have a way in, a cheap version in that you can get in with this Anchorpoint at $50. That's sweet, right? Especially when it's like $219 to get all this stuff. I guess it was like 100 and it was like another 100. So here are the things that I liked. Here are the things that I liked when I played it through. And the first time I played it, I didn't like it because it was a bad preview that they did at PAX or something, where I felt like I was just being told what to do and didn't have any chance to actually play around and experiment with the system. And then when I played it with West, he was like, yeah, do whatever you want. Play the game. It's just a game. Have fun. And I was like, okay, I'm going to have fun. And then I had a lot of fun. I really like this concept that you're flipping over these cards. So you'll have a bunch of cards, and then when you use one, you'll flip it over. So if you want to use that ability again, you have to use the ability that's on the backside in order to flip it back. And I think that's really cool in terms of how you chain things together, how you attack and deal with things. I like this concept that you will be upgrading your character, but not in like a Gloomhaven way where you have to change your class. You just like level up and you get a bunch of different abilities that feel similar as you evolve. It's like Pokemon, really. You go from Charmander to Charizard, and I think that's cool. I thought the battling was pretty fun, and I love the maps. They have a lot of focus on, like, especially coming from Gloomhaven and definitely being inspired by Gloomhaven, right? Like this is the people who brought you the Gloomhaven fan-made expansion, the Crimson Scales, and then kept on going and experimented and changed into their own game. It is really smartly laid out and with a real focus on getting it to the table. And I think that's huge. I think that is huge in a campaign game. I don't think you can overvalue the setup. And I'm going to talk about this in Arydia as well, how making easy setup gets it to the table over other games. Now, to be fair, they did send me a message and they're like, hey, do you want like a copy of Rove? Are you able to play it? I was like, listen, I can't play it because I still have other campaign games to play. But I do stand by my quote that'll, oh, look at this. Look at that. I didn't even realize it right here. That it is a campaign that you can potentially finish, right? Rove has a nice balance of exciting decisions while not overstaying its welcome. Quick setup and tight scenarios make this a campaign that's easy to get to the table and actually finish. That's how I felt about the campaign when it was first going. And I love that this is in a smaller box, maybe a more accessible box too. I'm really excited about this price point for Anchorpoint. I think that's great. That's like Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion. And I just think it's wicked. Small box format, budget friendly. I absolutely love this. And the gameplay to match. I think this is going to be friggin' great. How are you doing, Rove? Yeah, it should be funding more, honestly. Like, it's really good. Don't get the miniatures. You don't need them. You don't need the miniatures. You don't need them whatsoever. Don't do it. Just don't get anything else. Just get Anchorpoint. Like, if you're interested in the system, if you've played Gloomhaven and you want something that's like similar DNA but does feel completely different, I really enjoyed playing this. Yeah, and I'm remembering playing it. Oh, the rule book as well. Brilliant. Okay, can't download Anchorpoint. That's less brilliant. But the Rove Core. Oh, they just have stuff for Anchorpoint, I guess. Because or else they probably have my my video up there. What an exciting story too, right? Like with Addicts Games with Mutty. Well, I like Mutty a lot. He also runs the Level Up Gaming Convention. I like him less because he scheduled it the same day, the same weekend as Breakout Con, and I'm so friggin' mad about it. But I'll let it slide. Oh, isn't this? I just think this Addicts Games is so cool in terms of the story of like him being like, yeah, I love Gloomhaven so much. I'm going to create a huge fan-made campaign that he like doesn't make money off of because he can't because it's Gloomhaven. And then like produced it, would sell it at cost to everybody who wanted it, which is awesome. And then went on to create a game that is like Gloomhaven inspired, but is also like, from what I played that first initial bit, is really good. Yeah, I just think it's cool. So yeah, I have a playthrough on Rove. You can look it up, you can check it out. See me enjoying myself, and $50 is great. What was shipping? I didn't even get to shipping. I got too excited. Shipping, Anchorpoint is £9. So is that tier 1? I don't know what tier 1 means. I'm assuming it's tier 1. Shipping Canada is $23. So again, yeah, it's like $100 to get to me. It's tough because this isn't gonna really be. Was Rove in stores? I don't think it was. Like, it's not in 401 games, right? Like on board games. Yeah, no, it's not. So yeah, it's a tough one. But if you're interested in Rove at all, I love that this is an accessible jumping on point. Oh, I just love affordability and accessibility. I just think that's so awesome. So yeah, really happy, really happy with this campaign. It finishes on the 6th at 9, on the 9th at 6 p.m., Tuesday the 9th. And then finally, we have the second printing of Arydia. It hasn't crossed $1 million yet. I bet it will. I am very excited about this. It's an open world campaign based cooperative fantasy based Green Legacy role-playing board game. Green Legacy just means like you can reset it. It's just a campaign game. It's not Legacy at all. Well, I guess it is because you're exploring the map. So they do have a cool map where you're flipping over the tiles, and I guess there is some revealing there. But yeah, man, Arydia is great. Well, you know what? I still don't know if it's great, but I'm having a great time with it. I'm playing through it with Zach. We have, I think, 8 chapters out on YouTube right now. 8 play sessions. I think we filmed 12 play sessions. If you're a Patreon, you can get early access to those play sessions because I can't just make the entire channel Arydia and then go years without Arydia. So I'm dropping them every, like the first Friday of every month. It has been the schedule of the Arydia ones. They don't do well on the channel. Let me be clear. They actually really hurt Room and Board, and they hurt my algorithm. But I don't care because I like Zach and we're having fun playing it and we're still playing it. And it's fun to record it and it's fun to have it as like a little bit of a time capsule. So I know it's not really an incentive to join Patreon, and maybe I'll figure out an incentive down the line. But I don't care. I'm having fun doing it with my friend, and it's nice to record it. And so it's something that like we can look back on much later in life, which will be cool. Arydia, it's sort of a weird game. It's a weird system. It's open world. You can do whatever you want, but you have to do certain things. You're trying to get these squills. That's the premise of Arydia. You're going around, you're trying to get a bunch of squills. What are squills? It doesn't matter. They're just little tokens that some people have for some reason. If they give them to you and you get enough, you're going to not be in exile. And why are you in exile? It doesn't matter. Maybe you went to be in exile to seek glory. Maybe you were actually exiled. Both have happened to myself and Zach. And you're going to wander around this big old map, traveling about, flipping over tiles and investigating areas where you will then draw another big old map or a long map or a medium map or a small map and go in and maybe fight some people. Or are those the kobolds? Oh yeah, those are the kobolds. Hey, don't forget to go into that house. There's a house over there that we definitely didn't explore. But yeah, we're about, I assume, a third of the way through, or maybe halfway through. We're about to hit level 5, and you can get to level 10 in the campaign. My favorite part about this campaign is the fighting. I like the fighting system a lot, which I'll talk about. I also don't mind the role-playing aspect. Essentially what you can do is you'll draw a card and somebody will read it as the character, and then you have to kind of ask them questions. But it's a very limited amount of questions that you can ask them, or if you don't say the right thing, then they aren't going to respond in the correct way. So that's been fun for Zach and I, but I can see how people like wouldn't enjoy that. Also, their tech trees are stupid in that the arrows, if you have 2 arrows pointing to something on a tech tree, it means you have to have gotten everything from both of those arrows, which is not how tech trees work. You just go in one direction. A tech tree is like, hey, I can access this from here, or I can access that from here. In no world does a tech tree mean, oh, I have to have both paths to get that. That could be clear. That was just something we realized in the last playthrough session or whatever. But yeah, it's really fun. The sense of adventure in this has been really great. I like the open world. I would have appreciated a little bit more of a narrative, and there are some like tropes that you fall into that are kind of cheesy. And there was one thing that we just did in our final session that isn't out yet, but it was like a little mystery thing, but the mystery sucked and it was really boring and it held your hand all the way through it and it didn't really give you the opportunity to fail. And it just sucked. So there's like there's varying bits that are like really, really great and interesting and compelling. And then there's other bits of story where you're like, well, I don't really care. Like this sucks. But it's more on the really interesting and compelling side of things. I won this in a Board Game Geek contest. It was awesome. I don't know if they're having a Board Game Geek contest again, but you should go enter it. I don't enter contests anymore because now I'm on YouTube. And hopefully I can like reach out and get review copies and stuff. But yeah, it's been, wait, why are these guys fighting over here? Does this mean this land is going to get invaded by goblins? Or did they just take this as the potential nothingness and just set up a thing for a photo op? It's probably the latter, but yeah, I think the greatest gaming experience of your life is not the thing that you'll get, but you're going to get a really fun experience. It's like a real love letter to the style of games. And there's so many things about this that are better than other games. The minis come pre-painted. So you have like a little advent calendar box that you're opening and you're like, oh, now I'm fighting rats. Now I'm fighting spiders or whatever, you know? I like that you could stick your stupid head on different bodies just to like give yourself different bodies. I have the halfling bodies as well, so we can be a bit smaller. And Zach just decided to be a short orc, which was funny. I find the constant card sorting to be a little bit tedious and a little bit annoying, even though it's like, yeah, we're at a place and now we're going to open this house and go in. And it makes sense because sometimes you open a house and people like will jump out at you and fight you and you're not ready for it. And so it creates that sense of adventure again. But I find a lot of the cards get a little bit tedious after a bit. Like Zach and I generally will play this for like 8 hours a day or 9 hours a day when we play, and we'll record 3 or 4 sessions while we do it. And by the end of it, we're very tired and we're like done with pulling the cards out. But at the beginning, we're kind of fine with it. So that just might be a stamina thing. I don't know. But yeah, I really like the attacking. The attacking is really fun. Where I want to go to the combat section. Yeah. Combat is absolutely my favorite part. You're going to get to use your actions to use your weapons or your spells. Then you also have to attack people with this attack pattern. So you see how people are like, if I rolled a 12 here on this sword, I would get to attack 2 spots of damage. If I rolled a 20, I would get to attack 3 spots of damage. And if I have a strength of 10, then I just get to add 10 to my roll, right? So say I roll a 2, I would only get to hit 1 piece of damage here. But say I roll a 12 or 12 plus, including my modifier, I would get to hit these 2 pieces of damage. And then because I hit this little orange section, it's a critical hit that then takes out this rat entirely. Once you put wounds on all of these people, they're taken out. And I think that's really neat. They also all have these little target symbols, which will do a bad thing to the party, and they're not always easy to take out. Like here, you're obviously not going to hit it. You're just going to hit a critical hit. But what if you don't have that attack pattern, right? What if you don't have a slash across? Often you will, but what if you don't? What if you just have a diagonal slash? Because like, that's how you interact. And so each class has their own weapons, and each weapon gives you a different way of approaching the puzzle and how you have to roll and how you have to attack the puzzle. And I think that's just really neat. So I really, really enjoy the combat system, and that is what is carrying us through the campaign and what is making us actively look forward to coming back to it. I absolutely hated the quick start. I realized that I don't like quick starts, and I'm just kind of the type of person who doesn't like quick starts, but I really hated these ones. But yeah, leveling up your skills is fun. It's a big fantasy game in a box. It's really quite fun. So what are we getting? We're getting a fishing upgraded expansion. You don't need this at all. You don't need it at all. Don't even bother. Just the fact that it's called a fishing expansion. Who cares? Fabled fishing. Oh, and an upgrade pack so you can. There are some typos. There are some that we encountered that were a bit confusing, so it's always good to have an upgrade pack. I'm not going to get the upgrade pack because like I'm going to be done playing Arydia by the time that happens, so I won't need it. Fabled fishing seems like who cares? It's a card-based mini game. Each fish you catch will get you a little bit of a reward. Sure. I don't think. It's probably like will turn into an item or something. It'll be fun to have, sure, if you throw it into the all-in, but yeah, you don't need it. You also don't need this all-in pledge because the small bodies you don't really need. And the Epic Hunt, again, it's just like a small figure. You're going to add it into the job deck, which we forgot to do during the setup. So now we're going to add it into the job deck, but now it's back on an island that we're no longer there. And so it might be annoying to go back and even complete it. So if you're interested, the base game is $200. It's a lot. It's very expensive, but it is as big a box as Gloomhaven, and the production quality is really, really good. So if you love like open world exploration and you love campaign games, then you should get this game. It is not the be all and end all of board gaming. Again, Zach and I are really enjoying it, but live vicariously through us. Go watch the playthroughs and see if you like it. Zach goes rogue immediately, as he always does. You can skip the quick start, honestly, because we had a horrible time with it. And then we just complain about it for the next like 5 episodes. But yeah, it is not the be all and end all of board gaming, but it is very good. And we are still continuing playing it, and we're having a good time playing it. So if you have somebody, I think this would be better not solo, just that it's somebody else to manage the upkeep. You get to do the little role-playing aspect. That has been a fun thing too, of like creating character voices and stuff. That's something that like Zach and I really enjoy doing. It is for sure a great game, and we're enjoying playing it. We're actively enjoying playing it. We've played 12 sessions of it, and each session's like 2 hours. We've already sunk like 24, probably 30 hours into this game, and we're going to continue playing it and enjoying ourselves. And we've let other campaign games fall, right? Like we've been actively, like might create a nice thing for where we can play a bunch of campaign games together, but like this is the one that we are playing and engaged in, and we've been doing this for about a year. So we've gotten together infrequently, just based around my travel schedule or whatever, but we both actively enjoy playing it, and we're excited to finish it as well. And I think I'm playing Path of the Arcana right now, but I think I might change things, you know? I think I might actually switch to being a bard at some point in time, just to see it. Yeah, there have been more fun moments than dull moments, but there are some dull moments. So just like, don't get your expectations too high. My expectations for this game were friggin' through the roof, and The fact that I'm still sitting at a good, I think speaks to the quality of this game, right? Like, there was no meeting my expectations, but it really did a great job at trying to meet those expectations, and I'm quite happy with the experience. But it's really expensive. It's really expensive. Shipping, $25, yeah, that makes sense. Canada, $29. It's a huge box. It would be like $300 Canadian to get. It came at a point in my life where I certainly did not have that money to spend, even though I was very, very excited for it. In a lovely full circle moment, as I just got all my hours cut. But yeah, so that's why I was freaking over the moon when I won the contest, and I've just had such a great time with it. And yeah, I'm like really looking forward to being done this theater contract that I'm on to get back to Toronto and in January to like play more of it with Zach. It'll be fun to set up the cameras and bust it out and see what the new world has to offer. So even doing the side quests for a whole session or two wasn't unpleasant, but it's very expensive, right? Yeah, so that finishes next Tuesday at 9 p.m. I also love that, again, their funding goal was $200,000 because that's what they needed. That's what they needed to warrant the second printing. Their original funding goal was like $700,000. They're like, listen, this is what we need to print on this scale. So I really appreciate the team and the funding transparency as well. That's it for this week. We're going to talk about what a piece of garbage Mayday games is, as per usual, next week, but just as a little flag, like if you have a board for Mayday games like in this campaign, cancel it and wait till next week till we talk about it, or like just look up how friggin' shady the owner is and just get literally any crokinole board. Well, I'll talk about that more in depth next week. We don't have to talk about it now, but I just wanted to bring that up in case there are people watching and they miss next week because it's a Wednesday sort of turnaround. But that's it for the week. Now every week I do a pick for me and a pick for you, the pick for me being the thing I think is the most interesting and mechanically for me, and the pick for you being the thing I think if you would regret it the least. And I think I might leave Arydia out of the conversation for this pick for me, because like obviously it's a pick for me. I'm playing it, I'm actively playing it, I'm really enjoying it. Like it's a pick for me. But I think I'm gonna leave it out of that just because I already have it. Yeah, but I'm just gonna go through and do a little grunt down to see what we remember. Nah, no, yeah, meh, absolutely not. No, nah, meh, yeah, and yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna make the pick for me, Arydia, because there's nothing else. There's nothing else. There's really nothing else. It was a bad week. It was quite a bad week, and Rove and Arydia were only our saving graces. But Rove Anchorpoint is for sure the pick for you. I think it's a great game. I think also rather than like spending $300, you could spend, $70. Well, okay, really it's $200 and $50, but then you just add the shipping on that. Yeah, I think if you're looking for like baby's first campaign or like an introduction to the Rove system, you don't need to get everything right now. You can just get that initial thing. It's the new thing, right? It's got the streamlined stuff. It is the Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion, and so I think getting that would be really cool. And it already is fun. Already is really fun, and I'm really looking forward to playing it. But that is it. That is it for the week. Thank you everybody for tuning in and always being here. It's really nice to have you here. I don't want to get too much talking about my other stuff, but I'm excited. Let's see how much we can invest into room and board and friggin' grow this thing and fill the hours with doing stuff here. Probably won't even notice the difference. I already work as much as I can on room and board anyway. But yeah, anyway, I appreciate you all. I appreciate the community that we have here. You're all great. I appreciate all the support, the constant support, watching the channel. Seeing Crowdfunding Countdown numbers go up over the past little while, which is pretty cool. We're like consistently 2 to 3, where it used to be like 1 to 2. So it's like nice to see that growth and stuff. And yeah, I like being able to be a source of anti-FOMO, like talking down your spending, the budget-friendly channel, room and budget, we should call this channel, and hoping to help you all maximize your excitement. If I can do that, that's pretty cool for me. So yeah, I just would appreciate everybody. Thanks for hanging out. As always, my name's Chris George. Ooh, I don't have a catchphrase. I do not have a catchphrase. I really am not gonna have a catchphrase. I definitely don't. I don't have one. Oh well, we'll figure it out.